This one's gonna have a lot of video magic, so. Hi, everybody. Let's talk about what projects I've been working on. Welcome back to another CouleeCraft vlog. You are in the exact middle, because we're on this journey together, are in the exact middle of the year of stash busting that I'm going on. It is June now. Back in January, I did a video about busting some stash this year, using up the materials I already have. And we've been doing this in my Discord server, and it has been so fun and so lovely. And it's kind of morphed into a little bit of a different project for me along the way versus what I kind of envisioned it starting out. And it's a good thing, it's a good evolution. I'm really excited about it. So let's talk how it started. Quarterly, setting goals of how much stash I want to use up for that quarter. Quarter one, I set a goal. I did not even come close. We have these very loose rules for our stash busting that we're doing of if you make purchases, every quarter you have one exemption that you can set as the quarter is starting. Whatever that exemption is, that's not going to count against you. If you make purchases outside of that exemption, it counts against your goal, your yardage, your weight, whatever. And if you purchase secondhand, it's only half of the quantity that you've purchased, right? Right, okay, so pretty straightforward. Quarter one, I set a goal. It was way too high. I did not meet it. I did not beat myself up about it. I was very kind and loving. And I had to think, because I was like, okay, using up yarn to use it up wasn't sparking the joy that I was hoping this stash busting project was going to spark for me. For me, this whole thing is about really knowing what I have on hand and loving it and being excited to use it, not feeling like I need to plan a project that takes up a bunch of yarn to meet a goal. So for quarter two, I set a project goal. I wanted to add 3 wardrobe staples to my chest of finished objects. I wanted to have 3 pieces that I knew I was going to wear a ton. A cardigan, because I do not have a hand knit cardigan. Well, that's a lie. I do have a hand knit cardigan. I want another one, because the one that I made a bazillion years ago, I love it. It doesn't fit me super well anymore. So I wanted one that was a little bit more slouchy, less fitted, and is going to be kind of that ultra cushy, cozy vibe versus the more fitted cardigan that I already have and love. So loosey-goosey cardigan was one. Tank top is another, because I have a cotton lace shirt that I wear all the time and love, but I would like a tank top, which we know, I've been through it, the drama on making the tank top. So I was excited about doing a tank top, I was excited about doing a cardigan, and I was like, I want a skirt or a bottoms, like shorts maybe, pants, who knows. I wanted some like top wrap and bottoms. Okay, so I had all those planned, and my exemption for quarter two was anything that I purchased while we were traveling. We went to England during quarter two, which was amazing. And also my forever exemption is the mystery fiber subscription I have through Mother of Pearl. Sign up for that if you're a spinner, it's amazing. So I ended up experiencing a lot of things in life in quarter two that pulled me away from knitting and working on projects, or pulled me in different directions than I expected, I guess. We had a death in the family, which resulted in family members that I don't usually get to see being around. So there were some projects, a specific project for one of my cousin's kids that I had been planning on working on for Christmas that I was like, no, it'd be way more meaningful to do it now to give to that kid in person, which I did, and that was awesome. And then I just, with a lot of the different things that happened to me in quarter two, I just didn't feel like making things as much. If you're a creative person, you know that it ebbs and flows. It comes and goes in cycles. So there are times where you're not feeling like knitting, like crocheting, like working on things the same rate or the same way you maybe had felt like before. So I had purchased the heirloom quilt cardigan quite a while ago, the pattern, by Carolyn Seeberger. I'm so excited to work on it when I purchased it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait. For whatever reason, I just didn't feel like working on it. And that was the cardigan that I was going to work on for quarter 2. And I have great yarn for it. I have a lot of stuff that I'm excited to work with and use up that I had even initially gotten with the thought of making this cardigan, and some other stuff that I've just picked up over the last year. Not this year, 2023. So I was excited to work on it, and I was looking forward to working on it in quarter 2, and just the thought of sitting down, reading about a pattern, and I know it's made modularly with a lot of squares, which is great because it's repeatable and easy for me to memorize, but they're 2-colored. I love color work. But it's color work flat, which I still love. It's a little bit more fiddly, and mentally I was like, I can't look at or read a knitting pattern right now. It was just not the vibe. So I didn't until I felt like it again. So this is kind of a rambly PSA of your creative projects, the state and society that we live in today. Knitting is not life or death. We have, for worse or for worse, fast fashion and manufacturing and great secondhand shops and more clothing than we could need for the next 6 generations. It's not life or death to make a sweater, as it has been for past centuries, for the winter, right? It's a fun thing. If it's not making you feel happy or fun or making your brain go, yes, don't do it. So that's what I did. I gave myself the grace to just not do it. And instead, I worked on the projects as they came up in my mind that seemed fun and enjoyable. So my goal for quarter 2 has also not been met. But I did make a tank top finally, and I really love it. I improvised the pattern, and it turned out so good, and it was exactly what I had envisioned it being after so many failed attempts of making a tank top. Plus, it was really, 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 really enjoyable to wear. I have worn it almost nonstop. I'm surprised I'm not wearing it today. Video magic. Here's the finished tank top. It looks so cute. Yellow is not normally a color I choose, but I picked this up and started knitting with it and working on it amid a very chaotic month of May, and it was just really good. I started from the top. Once I got those triangles all joined, it wasn't really any math or thoughts in my pretty little head. It was just circle. You just go round and round until the yarn ran out, and then you attached the other yarn, and then it was cute picot bind off, adorable, some hemming, adorable, and I-cord ties for the top. Like, so cute, so easy. It blocked out beautifully. The picot had kind of flipped up because when I stitched it on, tension changes, whatever. So it blocked out amazing, and I've been wearing it nonstop. It is made out of Noro Solo Silk Sock, is the colorful yellow part, and the bottom is LRA Cash Merino, which I had thought I was going to make something for the kids out of, and I didn't. It just became this tank top. I still have some left, but perfect. I'm loving it. So what I've learned so far on this stash busting year is to give yourself a lot of grace, obviously. There have been purchases made. I bought yarn, as you saw, my UK haul in a previous video. I bought yarn on the trip. I was gifted yarn at H&H in the beginning of May, which was really lovely. And obviously that Noro and that LRA that I made the tank top out of, that was stuff that was gifted. I've already used it. That's great. That's a win. And I have started the heirloom cardigan out of a bunch of stuff that I've had on hand. There have been other projects that have been in the works that I can't talk about, smaller projects, fun, cute stuff, but I don't know. It's been weird, and being able to come to this project of stash busting and being able to go into my Ravelry and look at the yarns I have feels really good. Like, I'm really excited to look at my stash because I know that the yarns in there are ones that I want to use and I'm excited about and that I've picked with an intention and purpose. Not necessarily a pattern purpose, but an outcome purpose, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like I'm saying, okay, I'm going to make this pattern and I'm going and buying the yarn for it. I don't usually operate that way. I get really inspired by the fibers and what structure they're gonna make. Like, I bought Angora yarn when we were in London, and I know the type of fabric I want to create with that. And I'm debating back and forth on the type of garment I want it to be, but I know structurally what I want to produce with it. And that has been probably the biggest win from the stash busting year, is changing my relationship with my yarn stash and thinking about it instead of I have too much stuff and like that burdensome possessions hoarder type feeling. I've gone through my stash. I've gotten rid of stuff. I've given stuff to friends and family, or I've just donated a bunch of stuff that I know I'm not going to use. So I've ended up with an amount of yarn that is still slightly insane to me in my small house, but I've ended up with an amount that I feel really excited about, and types of fibers that I feel really excited about, and colors that I'm excited about. I want to use them, and I want to see them, and I want to touch them, and I want to make things out of them. So that relationship shift versus being like, I don't even know what's in that trunk, to knowing what's in that trunk and being excited about what's in that trunk and inspired by it has been huge for me. Because in the past, since we've moved in 2020 to where we live now, we have a smaller house. I don't as easily get to look at all my stash all the time. It's put away to protect it from moths and different things, so I don't just see it like on a wall, right? So the inspiration of seeing a bunch of fiber or yarn en masse comes when I go to a yarn shop, since we've moved. And then when you're in a yarn shop, you're like, well, I'm going to buy yarn. So it's kind of, it had changed from this relationship of like, I have a lot of yarn at home I'm excited about, to I don't know what's in that trunk. The only way to get excited about yarn is to either empty it all out and have it be this whole big thing, or just go to a yarn store and like look at stuff. And I don't have a local yarn shop to me, so it is usually a bit of a special trip. But that relationship change with my stash has been really, really, really good and fun and exciting. So what is the future for Q3 and Q4? Now, I'm talking about my experience stash busting specifically. The members of the CouleeCraft Discord have had their own unique journeys, and really wonderful things have come out of it. We've seen probably miles and miles of yarn spun, processed fiber, stuff cleaned, fresh shorn off sheep, tried new patterns, experimented with new things, combined yarns that they weren't expecting to. Lots of like cool experiments and dedicated excitement and focus and use of our stashes has come out of this. And so for me, like, right, like the community nerd part of me, I'm like, that's so exciting. That is so exciting. Join the Discord, see what everybody else has been working on, share your own quarterly goals, and just get in the chat, because we have so much fun talking about ways to use up our stash, pattern suggestion sharing, working together. It's just a blast. Like, honestly, so fun. Now I'm doing my darndest locally to make more knitters and crocheters. If you live near me and you want to learn, just call me. Like, let's make it happen. But I don't have as active of a fiber community here as I have in other places I've lived. And that's something I'm really missing. We moved down here in the middle of the pandemic, and that has really impacted how I've made friends, for better or worse. I have friends here, which is really lovely and great, but they aren't always pre-made knitters. I have to make them into knitters, which I'm doing. It's working, or crocheters, either, both, everything. We love it all. So, having this Discord and having this mission for this year has been really, really fun. Now, what's going to happen for quarter 3 and 4? For me, for quarter 3, I want to continue kind of roll over my goals from quarter 2, which were to make a cardigan, a tank top, and a bottom of some kind. So shorts, skirt, pants. Haven't fully decided. Mother of Pearl just released an amazing linen pant pattern that I'm looking at. Like, I don't have any linen yarn, so that one's probably going to have to be a special purchase and not helpful to my stash. But there's great options out there. So I want to roll that over. I've already made the tank top. I will probably add a different project into there. I'm doing an art trade with 2 different friends right now, separately, 2 separate art trades. And for both of them, I think I'm going to be crocheting and knitting garments, which is awesome. And I'm really excited to do that because both of those humans are super knitworthy and will take great care of whatever I make them. So that's really exciting. The one art trade we've already discussed, and I know what I'm making for that. And then the other one, we're swapping mood boards at the end of this week, which is so exciting for what projects we're going to work on. And I can't wait to see what that other pal has put together of what they want me to make for them. So that's going to be fun. I'm not 100% sure what specifically I would add to my quarter 3, like, kind of wardrobe staple goals. I have a bunch of designs in my head that are living there rent-free. And they need to be written up patterns to start earning some rent. I'm really excited about some of them. And I've had new patterns present themselves in inspiration in my mind. So I am excited about that as well. I don't know if I want to lay design goals for quarter 3 or what I want to do. I have a lot of patterns, not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot. I have a few patterns that are actually written up that I want to publish. Some that I have submitted to publications, which is always exciting. So I don't know. Again, I have had kind of a weird summer so far, and I don't want to put pressure-filled goals on myself that are going to dampen any ebbs and flows of creativity I may have. So TBD on what I'm going to do with that. Definitely going to continue working on the heirloom quilt cardigan. I'm doing good on that. I'm excited to see how it all looks laid out together. I love the colors, everything about it I love. I'm excited about it. But yeah, that is my stash busting update. Biggest positive, it's changed my relationship with my stash. I'm really looking forward to finishing updating Ravelry because I've decided now that there is a bin of Knit Picks Dishy in my basement, which is like 100% cotton yarn, that I use for most of my crochet, like, novelty purse designs. I am going to put that into Ravelry as well. I didn't before. I don't know why. But I am going to do it. Probably not tonight, but at some point. So I'm going to figure that out and then have my that'll be my really, really full, complete stash then, all documented. And that'll feel good. I like to know what I have and be able to look at it and put it into pattern suggestions and things like that for myself so that I really know what I'm working on. I want to continue working from stash. I have a few projects that I think I will need yarn for, which is surprising to me. They might not be projects that I work on even this year, but there are a couple projects that have recently caught my eye that I'm really like, that would be freaking cool to do. And I want to play with those ideas, but they require fibers that I don't have. I don't have a lot of linen, and there's a few different linen-y ideas that I want to play with. And I'm thinking about a colorwork sweater. I don't want to put the time and effort into a colorwork sweater in colors that I will not wear on the daily. I have sweaters quantities of several different fingering weight yarns in many different colors. I want the colorwork sweater to be something that I'm like an heirloom. Like, this is something that I love the colors of and I'm going to hand it down, not something that I'm like, well, this is what I had in stash. I could still probably make a really cool one with what I have in stash, but I want it to be something that I'm like just really, really enamored with. I could potentially do that with what's in stash. I'm thinking, and I have a lot of knowledge of what's in my stash, I'm thinking I wouldn't super love any of the combos. So therein lies the debate. I feel like a colorwork sweater is not something I'm going to work on this year, though. I think I would probably start it in January. It's crazy being in June and being like, yeah, the year's basically done. But like, I'm being realistic about the projects that I have that I want to work on throughout the rest of this year. I don't think a colorwork sweater fits in that plan joyfully. So there's that, being honest with myself. Yeah, that's the big stash busting update. You are going to have a couple more videos coming your way, hopefully soon. One that I'm really excited about working on is the final wrap up and full tutorial for the crocheted denim jacket that I made, and I wore it all around at H&H, and people were obsessed with it. I will say I was a little butthurt the second day because I wore my denim jacket the first day. It got tons of love. Great. Awesome. And the second day, I wore my ball gown, my crocheted ball gown, and my denim jacket over it. And I thought the ball gown's gonna be the showstopper. And like, no, like people were like, oh my God, your jacket. And I'd be like, and I made the dress. And they'd be like, tell me about the jacket. I'm like, right, I love the jacket too, but I was a little sad that they were like, oh yeah, a nice dress. I'm like, no, it's not just a nice dress. It's an amazing dress. Thank you. I'm petty. I don't know. So I'm going to do the full tutorial for that hopefully soon. We'll see. We'll see. And I have the Pasty pattern typed-ish up and some other fun little patterns in my brain and or in Word documents. There's fun stuff coming, but I'm taking it easy because mentally, emotionally, and with pollen, physically, it has not been a super easy beginning of the summer. But the sun is shining, the tank is clean, everything's gonna be okay. I would love to hear if you're doing stash busting this year, how it's been going for you. The link to join the Discord is down below. Drop a comment, get involved. We would love to see you there. We're a fun group, and we are so excited to see what you're making. Stay crafty. Bye.